Man, what's up, world? It's your boy, the Toothless Wonder, back with another video by the water. Yes, sir. You better believe it. And I don't even know what I'm gonna talk about. I'm just, maybe this one will be about just, finding balance and rest on the Sabbath. You know, 'cause I want to, take strides towards, the Most High, and I know that's a commandment. And then you go through these differing, I don't know, doctrines of whether you're supposed to keep it. What does that entail? Does he not care? And I can't really get a definitive answer on that. But for my own personal practice, I'm gonna start honoring the Sabbath, which means no work. Now I don't know if that entails like can I work out? Can I work on things like my schoolwork? But I just take it and I pray as I continue as I embark on this particular aspect of my growth. He'll reveal to me what's pleasing to him. And I think I know obedience is better than sacrifice. But because of my current situation, I think he will honor the fact that I'm taking Friday sundown to Saturday sundown to not like make money or spend money or do anything business wise, because that does it is one for me is showing a show of faith, and two, even though I need money, I'm not willing to put my desire or perceived need for money over a commandment. And I pray he honors that, and God, as I attempt to generally from my heart live set apart and continue to grow and learn and so on and so forth. 'Cause I think that's the thing. Like, 'cause I was I got in the power, so I'm thinking I'm in like the third Baruch or something, and they had knowledge of you know customs, you know law, statute, commandments. Like in the Israelite community, we just now kind of getting back to that, and I think that's prophetic. I know somewhere it says something to the effect of, "In the land of your captivity, you'll begin to remember who you are." So like even years back, I started thinking like, this culture not for me. Like it don't agree with me, or why I gotta do this, or you know what I'm saying, or what does it mean? Like I don't even hear people in the Christian church talk about being set apart because they all up in it. You know what I'm saying? Or what about that part? And what does that look like? And you know, um, and I think me honoring the Sabbath would set me apart further if I go to an employer and I'm like, man, Friday night, Saturday night, I ain't doing no work, huh? Well, you can't work here. All right, now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting on this. I don't even know how to word it. Threshold of maybe a new level of quote unquote spirituality, where I'm seeing things in the natural from a more spiritual perspective. Like even when it comes to finance, like I said in previous videos, like I've been in the last 12 months, I've only consistently worked 3, but yet I haven't missed a bill. Things are tight, yeah. And then with me, fasting, I'm like, it's gonna be all right. Cause all the previous 9 months, I didn't know how I was gonna make it. And then either an opportunity would come or something I didn't know of, or, I would have a great day doing something and I had enough. You know what I'm saying? My issue would come in me wanting to break through under my own power and accord. So even now I still try certain stuff, but I think I'm actually being held back. Um, because I think when this does happen, I won't be able to say I did that. Now, did I try? Did I go through certain things that built character and different mental aspects and attributes? Yeah. So wherever I get to where I'm going, and then being able to operate in it, I can truly say He brought me here. This wasn't in my plan. And then technically, for the stuff I had planned to do previously, I was able to do all those things. It just didn't come from the vehicle. Actually, it came 2 ways that I said I didn't want to do. One, I'm in a hometown or in a town where I got like a lot of like history as far as like drugs and alcohol. I never wanted to be here, and I never wanted to work in a particular field because of my experience as a client in that field. And those 2 things were used to propel me. But prior to getting to that point, I went through various experiences that prepared me to handle somewhere I say I ain't want to go and doing something I say I ain't want to do, and thrived in both. So I'm in the space of, now it's a newer or a greater level, but I still have the knowledge of seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Like when they said David would, something would happen and and then he would remind himself of all the stuff it carried him through. You know what I'm saying? And I had to be mindful to do it. So that's part of me honoring the Sabbath too, like letting go and just resting in. You know what I'm saying? Everything gonna be all right. Either which way it go, because all the stuff, let's say that I didn't like or I didn't see coming, was actually used to create the individual who now is such a integral part in human history here in this country. Like, to me, I'm head and shoulders above most people I run into. In the sense, I can be by myself. I don't need social validation. Um, I self-discipline. Um, I spend a lot of time in thought and reflection and meditation. I get various insights. Typically, my insight on a particular subject or situation is different from others because my path lets me see it with different eyeballs and from a different perspective. Typically, prior to this season of life, people might say I have some semblance of intelligence, but typically, me and wisdom don't go in the same sense. Me and impulsivity, yeah, me and, oh, that was great. And the next day, oh man, that was stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been operating consistently in humility and attempting just to grow in knowledge. I don't, yeah, get whatever you're trying to do, book knowledge or a skill trade. But I'm talking about like that old school knowledge, like how your grandparents or your grandfather had, who only had like a third grade education. But somehow everybody go to him for advice. But he ain't got no book smart. He might not be able to read. But he can tell you about what you're going through and how you should carry it. And if you don't, here's what's gonna happen. It seemed like, to a degree, like those older black people who are, you know, I guess we're kind of losing them now in the community as, you know, grandparents get younger and younger. But those type of grandparent, like now your grandparent might be, depending on how old you is, you know what I'm saying? You might meet a 40, 45-year-old woman and she's a grandparent, but she's still in the club with her daughter, you know what I'm saying? Fighting for the same grouping I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Or in competition. You know what I mean? But that's all I had to say, man. It was just a quick one about just resting, letting go, and honoring, the set, and just knowing inherently, even though I don't know how, I know everything gonna be all right, and it's all working for my good. Even the seemingly, but actually, what I thought was bad, if I would have put some type of uh, label on it, actually has done me more good than the stuff that I actually thought was good. Like the stuff I thought was good or the stuff I wanted or obtained or whatever, had more of a detriment on me in the long run through the fulfillment of time than all the bad stuff. The things I put a bad label on actually created all the good attributes I'm now thriving with and being able to utilize now. Being of a sound mind. Everybody around not losing their mind, but to some degree, or they're making unwise decisions based on instant gratification. I've been patient for so long, it's now morphed me into being able to play the long game and not take, like say you cop a record deal that will give you $1 million up front, but you'll give up everything on the back end. And after $1 million gone, then you have no avenue to, you know, get income or because they taking it all. Versus, nah, I ain't gonna sign and I'll just make a couple thousand here and there. But if I do that for about 5 years, I'll be up 40 and I own every damn thing. I just gotta wait and just keep grinding. And that, I'm gonna sign off with that. Just wait and keep grinding and saying it to myself. Wow.